In the realm of human relationships, there exist individuals who attract attention like magnets. Regardless of age or adherence to conventional beauty standards, these individuals possess an elusive charm that compels others to turn their heads, seek their company, and persistently pursue their favor. This is not a matter of chance or divine gift, but rather the result of diligent self-improvement, honing specific behavioral patterns that render them irresistible without the slightest effort. The true art of seduction lies not in external attributes, but in the inner essence that a person projects to the world, in their manner of behavior, and in the confidence with which they present themselves. What exactly makes a woman truly enchanting? Many mistakenly believe that attractiveness is the prerogative of youth and striking appearance, but reality is far more profound. A mature woman can possess far greater allure than a young girl, thanks to the experience and self-assurance that come with age. She does not doubt her own worth, does not need constant approval from others, and clearly understands her individuality. This confidence is the very magnet that attracts attention. A wealth of life experience has taught her to understand what she wants from life and what is unacceptable to her, making her more selective and independent. She exudes an aura of mystery and sophistication, does not reveal all her cards at once, skillfully fueling interest and allowing curiosity to work in her favor. This is the secret of her irresistibility. Attraction to a woman is not limited to her external features. A true magnet for men is the special energy she radiates. Have you noticed how some women, perhaps not the youngest or with perfect looks, attract all eyes? The secret lies in their deep, impressive presence, in the way they move and express themselves, which captivates those around them. When a woman masters this inner strength, men cannot resist her charms. Her mere appearance evokes admiration. She does not need to persistently seek attention, as her energy does all the work for her. And the most wonderful thing is that this does not depend on luck or genetic predisposition. It is the result of a specific behavioral model that any woman can master. Having realized the power that you are capable of developing, let's consider the first quality that will make men look at you in a completely different light. Be confident that from this day on, you will begin to notice amazing changes. So, first and foremost, confidence is felt before makeup is noticed. Have you realized that before anyone pays attention to your hairstyle, outfit, or makeup, they sense your confidence? There is nothing more attractive than a woman who is confident in herself. This is evident in her gait, manner of speaking, and expressing her thoughts. A confident woman does not seek approval. She radiates it naturally. She doesn't need to ask permission to shine. She simply does it. Imagine this situation. You walk into a room and see two women. One has an attractive appearance but slouches, avoids eye contact, and looks insecure. The other may not meet conventional standards of beauty, but walks with determination, head held high, looking at the world with a confident gaze. Who do you think will be noticed first? Confidence acts like a magnet. And the best part is that you don't have to be born with this quality. You can develop it and turn it to your advantage. Scientific research confirms this. For example, a study conducted at Webster University showed that people with high self-confidence are perceived as more attractive, even if their appearance does not meet conventional beauty standards. Why is this happening? Because confidence carries a clear message. I know my worth, I know what I want, and I don't need anyone's approval. Men don't just see this, they feel this energy, and it attracts them like an irresistible force. Integrating confident behavior into everyday life can be a powerful tool for shaping your impression. Start with the simple. Watch your posture. A straight back and a raised head are not just a physical position, they are a statement of your confidence. Slouching and looking down, on the contrary, can inadvertently transmit insecurity and timidity. Move with determination, and you will feel how your inner state and the attitude of others change. Speech also plays an important role. Speak calmly and deliberately. Confident people do not feel the need to rush or fill the silence with meaningless phrases. Their voice sounds clear, confident, and with intention. Don't be afraid to take up space with your presence. Be visible at meetings, on the street, in conversations, without asking permission. Remember, the way you present yourself to the world is how the world will treat you. Next, let's consider an aspect that many women underestimate, the ability not to be clingy. Desire flourishes in uncertainty. Have you noticed that when you stop being constantly available, interest in you increases? This isn't a coincidence, but a pattern based on the psychology of human relationships. A charming woman doesn't need intrusive attention and isn't dependent on the approval of others. She understands her worth and doesn't measure it by how quickly she responds to messages. The most attractive women aren't those who pursue, but those who inspire pursuit. Why does this principle work? People tend to value what they might lose more. If a man is confident in your constant availability, his interest gradually fades. Think back to a situation when a man paid more attention to you precisely when you became less available. He started writing more often, seeking meetings, noticing details he previously ignored. When something seems guaranteed and safe, it loses its emotional appeal. A little uncertainty, on the other hand, intensifies desire. Men love challenges, mysteries, the feeling that they need to put in effort to win your attention. This is the secret. A woman who doesn't cling holds a dominant position in the relationship. To enhance personal attractiveness in everyday life, it's important to adhere to a strategy of moderate availability. Excessive availability can lead to a loss of interest from a man. It's necessary to give him the opportunity to take initiative, miss you, and strive for communication. It's important to continue living a fulfilling life, not fixating on waiting for messages. Hobbies and personal projects should remain a priority. A woman who feels confident alone exudes independence, which is an extremely attractive quality. It's emphasized that detachment doesn't imply coldness or indifference, but rather a manifestation of self-respect and a reluctance to impose oneself, which ultimately makes a woman more desirable. An essential aspect of personal magnetism is individual style, reflecting inner strength. Contrary to popular belief, following fashion trends or conforming to imposed beauty standards aren't defining factors of attractiveness. True attractiveness lies in the ability to wear clothes and present oneself to the world with confidence and dignity. A woman with a pronounced sense of style exudes confidence and strength, choosing what corresponds to her inner world and makes her unique. Her image becomes an extension of her inner energy, having a profound impact on those around her. Studies confirm that people perceive others as more attractive, not because of external data, but because of the confidence they exude. A woman with an individual style, confidently presenting herself to the world, can be more attractive than someone with perfect looks but lacking confidence. It's important not to imitate others, but to emphasize your uniqueness and originality. To create a unique and memorable image, it's worth paying attention to several key aspects. First of all, clothing should harmoniously match the individual characteristics of the figure. It's important to understand that not all fashion trends are universal, and what looks perfect on one woman may not suit another at all. Therefore, it's necessary to carefully study which styles, fabrics and styles most favorably emphasize the advantages and reflect the inner world. For example, ladies with expressive curves will suit dresses with an emphasis on the waist, which elegantly emphasize their shapes. At the same time, tall and slender women should pay attention to flowing silhouettes that can balance proportions. Color plays an equally important role. Each shade carries a certain energy and is able to convey various aspects of personality. Red, a symbol of passion and strength, is ideal for situations when you need to attract attention and make a statement. Black, the embodiment of mystery and sophistication, always remains relevant and elegant. White, associated with purity and serenity, creates a feeling of calm and confidence. Dark blue, the color of intelligence and authority, is perfect for business meetings and situations requiring leadership. Earth tones, symbolizing closeness and warmth, inspire trust and create a sense of comfort. Hairstyle and makeup should also harmonize with the image and emphasize natural beauty. You shouldn't strive for excessive pretentiousness and overload. The main thing is to skillfully place accents. For example, red lipstick will instantly add sensuality, and radiant and well-groomed skin will be the best decoration for the face. It's important to choose a haircut that favorably emphasizes facial features and matches individual style. The finishing touch to creating a unique look is a unique fragrance. The sense of smell is closely linked to memory and emotions, so a well-chosen perfume can leave a lasting impression. It is important to find a scent that reflects your inner essence and makes you feel confident and attractive. It can be a floral, woody, sweet, or fresh composition, but the main thing is that it harmonizes with your image and emphasizes your individuality. Ultimately, the secret to an unforgettable style lies not in impeccable appearance, but in self-confidence and the ability to present yourself. A woman who has found her style and feels comfortable in her image exudes strength and attractiveness, which makes her truly irresistible. The behavior discussed below reveals another important secret that women with magnetic charm use completely naturally. We are talking about feminine energy, which has a mesmerizing power. Feminine energy plays a fundamental role in attracting attention, but to avoid misinterpretation, it is necessary to clarify this immediately. Feminine energy has nothing to do with weakness, submission, or dependence. On the contrary, it is the complete opposite. It is the ability to influence without resorting to imposition, to get what you want without making demands, to attract attention without pursuing it. It is an unwavering belief that what you desire will come without having to make excessive efforts. It is the ability to inspire others without losing your unique essence. It is the magic that makes men want to get closer without waiting for an invitation. Unfortunately, many women mistakenly believe that to be attractive, they need to adopt a masculine mindset, take control of everything, and actively pursue men. This is a serious misconception. By being overly proactive, a woman deprives a man of the opportunity to express himself and win her attention. By imposing her presence, she leaves no room for intrigue and mystery. By taking control, she suppresses her natural magnetism. In contrast, the ability to harmoniously use your feminine energy creates an elegant, attractive, and deeply charming image. This is the secret of women who conquer hearts effortlessly. There are women who, regardless of age, attract male attention simply by appearing in a room. They don't need revealing clothes, they are not obsessed with perfection, and they don't compete with other women. As a clear example, a study conducted at the University of California showed that men find women who communicate in a relaxed manner, remain calm, and demonstrate receptive body language more attractive. This is because they exude confidence and femininity effortlessly. This is the fundamental difference between forcing attention and allowing it to happen naturally. How can a woman use her inner energy to achieve her personal goals? First of all, give the man a chance to take the initiative. Ladies who are used to constant planning involuntarily deprive gentlemen of the opportunity to show their conquering qualities. This does not mean passivity, but it implies creating conditions in which a man feels the desire to make an effort for the lady of his heart. For example, if a man offers to spend time together, instead of immediately taking over the organization, you should ask about his plans with interest and give him the opportunity to prove himself. If he is really interested, he will definitely try to impress. Secondly, it is important to learn to appreciate the present. Many women, carried away by thoughts of the future, overshadow their relationships with unnecessary worries. Will he write tomorrow? What are his intentions? What to do if he doesn't call? Such anxiety repels men, creating a feeling of pressure and the need to constantly prove their worth. On the contrary, a woman with magnetism enjoys the moment without burdening herself with expectations and without putting pressure. If a man shows interest, that's great. If not, that's no reason to be upset. Her inner energy does not depend on external circumstances and anyone's attention. Thirdly, pay attention to the softness and unhurriedness in communication. The timbre of voice and the manner of expressing thoughts are powerful tools of seduction. Speech should be slow and conscious, with pauses that create an atmosphere of mystery and anticipation. Avoid aggressive or sharp intonations. For example, in a conversation, instead of hasty answers or excessive explanations, leave room for silence. Pauses create intrigue and capture attention. True attraction lies not so much in the content of what is said, but in the manner of speaking. In conclusion, feminine energy is more of an art than a tactic. By learning to relax, to accept rather than pursue, and to radiate a magnetic presence without coercion, a woman awakens in men a natural desire to get closer. The key is to be able to choose who to give your energy to. The next step to enhancing magnetism is mastering the art of conversation. A charming woman realizes that conversation is not just an exchange of words. It is not a continuous stream of speech and not an attempt to impress at all costs, but the creation of a connection that evokes curiosity, interest, and attraction. Her secret is to speak less, but more meaningfully, to use the power of silence to strengthen the connection and to create an aura of mystery and depth in every interaction. Many women mistakenly believe that filling the silence with unnecessary words, excessive stories about themselves, or attempts to attract attention with long stories is the right way to a man's heart. However, the art of seduction works differently. Psychological research confirms that 80% of attraction arises from nonverbal communication. In other words, how a thought is expressed is much more important than the thought itself. The most magnetic women are not those who talk the most, but those who know how to create tension, intrigue, and curiosity in conversation. How can this be achieved? First, you need to learn how to use eye contact. A look can be more eloquent than 1,000 words. You should not avoid eye contact. You should use deep and prolonged glances, holding them for a few seconds before looking away. Playing with the intensity of your gaze, you can smile slightly and slowly look away, creating an instant effect of attraction. Second, do not reveal all your cards at once. Mystery is a key element of seduction. Many women feel the need to tell their whole life story in one conversation, which is a mistake. You should answer briefly and allow the other person to want to know more. Phrases that evoke curiosity, such as, "That's a fascinating story, but I'll tell it another time," are ideal for creating intrigue. It is important to remember that understatement can be as powerful as what is said. Third, you need to learn how to ask interesting questions. The best conversations are those that focus on the other person. Instead of one-word answers or stories about yourself, you should ask questions that stimulate interest, such as, "If you could live in any historical era, which would you choose?" Or, "What would you do knowing that failure is impossible?" Such questions engage the other person and create an emotional connection. Fourth, it is important to be able to play with the tone of voice and silence. The tone of voice can turn an ordinary phrase into a seductive or boring one. You should speak calmly, without rushing, using a soft but confident tone. Small pauses before answering create anticipation. For example, instead of simply saying, "How interesting," you can say, interesting," pausing before continuing. Rhythm and intonation can make even the simplest phrases extraordinarily attractive. In conclusion, a woman who has mastered the art of conversation does not seek to impress, but seeks to establish a connection. She uses eye contact, plays with silence, asks questions that arouse interest, and maintains an aura of mystery in every interaction. It is important to remember that the essence is not in the number of words spoken, but in the intention with which they are spoken. There is another way to enhance your attractiveness. The sixth rule states, independence is the most powerful magnet. A woman living a full life seems mysterious, attractive, and memorable. Often, women make the mistake of focusing all their interests solely on relationships. However, genuine attraction arises when a woman is self-sufficient, when she has hobbies and goals that inspire her. Why is this happening? The fact is that a man does not seek to be the center of his chosen one's universe, but wants to become part of an already existing, exciting world. Independent women have irresistible power. They are not looking for someone to compliment them. They are not waiting for approval or messages. They have their own ambitions, hobbies, and an interesting life regardless of the presence of a partner. As an example, The most attractive women are not those who try to please everyone, but those whose lives are so full and interesting that others seek to become a part of it. Men appreciate independence in women because it radiates confidence, self-sufficiency, and self-trust. So how can you put these principles into practice and transform your life? First of all, you need to find that very spark, that high goal that extends far beyond romantic relationships. You must not allow your self-perception and meaning of life to depend entirely on the presence of another person. Discover a pursuit that ignites a fire within you, whether it's a captivating project, a daring entrepreneurial venture, or a cherished personal dream. Clearly define what you aspire to achieve in this world and dedicate all your efforts to reaching that goal. Don't place the responsibility for your happiness on someone else's shoulders. When you're passionate about your purpose, your inner energy transforms and you radiate self-assurance and infectious enthusiasm. Secondly, cultivate a circle of people who energize and inspire you to achieve new heights. The people you spend most of your time with profoundly influence your mood, worldview, and self-esteem. Avoid toxic relationships that bring only drama and negativity into your life. Surround yourself with strong and inspiring individuals who motivate you to grow and develop personally. Create a social network that encourages you to move forward, not one that holds back your potential. When you're surrounded by high-energy people, your charm and confidence naturally increase. Thirdly, strive for continuous growth and lifelong learning. A woman who is constantly evolving possesses a special magnetism. She discovers something new every day, reads books, travels, and shares her knowledge with others. In today's world, where opportunities for self-improvement seem limitless, it's crucial to continually invest in yourself. Attending specialized courses and exploring new horizons not only broaden your perspective but also contribute to personal growth, which in turn makes you more attractive to others. Confidence and an interesting personality are what truly attract attention. Self-sufficiency becomes a powerful source of magnetism. A woman who doesn't seek salvation in relationships and doesn't expect someone to complete her radiates a special energy. She doesn't live for relationships. She values her independence, and that's what makes her irresistible. True attractiveness doesn't depend on age or physical appearance. It lies in the energy a person conveys. Realizing this fact reveals that the most powerful beauty lies not in appearance but in confidence, independence, and energy. Men don't remember the most beautiful woman but the one who left a special mark on their soul, the one who stood out from the crowd and radiated a unique essence. Applying these principles to your life will lead to amazing changes. The way men look at you will change and your self-confidence will increase. Magnetic energy will attract more opportunities not only in your personal life but also in all areas of your endeavors. Attractiveness is not an accident but a result of specific behaviors and your attitude toward yourself.